That's right, we're taking the supercharger off. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Texas Honda Channel. If you're new here, definitely click that subscribe button. So if you didn't already see the title, we are going to be taking the supercharger off, not because I want to, but because I have to get it rebuilt. So we will be back to an all motor form, which will be good because we can get some content still. You can go to the dyno and stuff like that. But definitely want to see what's going on the inside of the supercharger. It's starting to make noise, which that's when you're supposed to stop it, is when it starts. So we'll go ahead and start it up and let you hear what I'm talking about. Okay, so I'm not sure if you could hear what I was talking about. It's making like a little grinding noise in there where the rotors are. Now, if I let this go unchecked, it could get worse and it could either seize up or cause a lot more damage. And since this kit is really hard to find, I'm just gonna go ahead and take it out so I don't damage anything. I don't want to though, because this car is super quick. I'll put a little pull video clip right here. The video just doesn't do it justice. This thing's absolutely awesome. But I'll do another pool video after it's all motor. We'll see how it does. It was a great car before we supercharged it and then done a bunch of little mods here and there. So it should still be a pretty fun car. It is my daily though. I cannot just let it sit in the garage while I wait for a rebuild kit. I'm going to get an M62 supercharger rebuild kit for the rotor side. And then on this side, I have to get whatever bearings it is. I still have a lot of research to do to get the right stuff. But after that's done, it'll go back in. Or we could put this on my other engine that's sitting on the engine stand and drop it in like a Civic or something. It'd be really cool, supercharged Civic. Either way, it's really fun. And I'm gonna miss having the supercharger wine on there. But after I get it off, we'll take it over to the workbench. I'll open it up a little bit and we'll see what's going on in there and go over more stuff. So I hope you guys enjoy the video. If you're new here, please click that subscribe button, turn the bell icon on to get notified of every upload. So we'll go ahead and get to it. thing I have left to do is to throw the intake system on. I have the cold air intake, the AEM that I had on here when I got the car. So I'm probably going to throw that on. I was going to use the heat shield box because it would work perfectly, but I don't have a 3-inch pipe with a 90-degree on it to go into this. All I'd have to do is turn this filter up. One would come off and just dump in, but I don't have one. So I'm going to end up running the true cold air intake. Then we can go over to the workbench and take apart the supercharger and see what's going on. Okay, got the intake pipe on, goes all the way down into the fender area. This is all ready. I topped the fluid off, power steering and coolant. So now we've got the supercharger over here. Take it apart real quick, look inside. I did want to show you what I was talking about. You see all that oil in there? That's the oil that's leaking in from the seals on this. So this part here holds oil and it's leaking in to this side. So it's not a lot of oil, but it is a little bit. You can see this side's nice and dry, which means no oil was getting in through the PCV system where it recirculates from the valve cover. Just oil on this side. So there are some 10mm bolts around this thing that we will have to take off. And don't mind these are the mounting bolts that go to this plate over here, in case you were wondering. But you can definitely see there's oil under here as well, which means it's leaking in between the sealing area. But we'll go ahead and get it all taken apart. Okay, I'm going to be opening it over a bucket because there will be oil that comes out. So make sure when you're prying this apart to be very careful. Yeah, it's nice and wet right here. Alright, so right here on the inside there's a little coupler. You can actually upgrade these things, typically. This one actually looks pretty good, but of course in the rebuild we'll be replacing that. Now there's a bearing right back here. It's kind of hard to see. It's back in there. That one is one of the bearings I have to find, along with the bearing that goes to the pulley side, which you can hear. I think it does need replaced as well. So I'm gonna let that drain. So we'll carefully remove this. You can see, there they are. So the coating is definitely gone on these. You can see this little coating on there is definitely gone. So the bearings on these feel like they're slightly going out. There's a little bit of play in there. Last supercharger I took apart didn't have play like that, so I think that I could just order this piece right here and we'd probably be good and I could throw it back in. But since I'm already going to be in here, I might as well do it all. And inside here, this is the casing of the supercharger. You can see back there, those needle bearings don't look too healthy. So most likely those will have to come out for sure. So those needle bearings definitely need replaced. Not sure if you can see in there, but back in there, if we take the front half of this casing off, we could do some porting in there and get a little bit better flow to this. But overall, it doesn't look too terrible inside there. The only thing we have to do is replace those two needle bearings. But we can replace this piece right here with one from a Cobalt SS, so that should be fairly easy to find. Not cheap, but should be fairly easy to find. and then I have to figure out the bearing size on that side and the pulley side, get those replaced, and put it all back together, and it should be like new. So I just got to source these parts and get a little bit more money to get that done. But for the meantime, this all motor setup will be perfectly fine for me. It did great as an all motor before the supercharged setup, so it should do great as an all motor setup now. Now that I've got more mods done to it, we will definitely see. So I'm gonna start it up. We're gonna see what the air fuel ratios are like. I'll do some adjustments on the computer if I need to, and then we'll go take it for a little spin and see how slow it is. Sounds pretty good. Not seeing any leaks. All right, so we're gonna go take it for a spin. All right, it's sounding pretty good. Air fuel ratios are looking perfect right now. So I'll get on it here in just a minute, and then we'll see exactly how it does while under full throttle. All right, I'm gonna launch it. Okay, well, I'm really happy with how it runs as an all motor. It's still really quick, gets up to speed good, and it sounds really cool with that VTEC crossover, so awesome. We'll go over more when I get back to the house, so I'm gonna go ahead and head back. All right, so I am pretty happy with this all motor setup. Actually, I'm a lot more happy with it than I thought I was going to be after being supercharged. Now, I will miss that whine, but I love that VTEC crossover. It sounds just as good in my opinion. Car still has tons of power. It's a great daily. More important than anything, it's a great daily. That's the only reason I had to even take Supercharger off, is because I have to daily it, and I didn't want to drive it with that Supercharger acting up or potentially acting up. I've always read that once the Supercharger starts making noise, stop driving it. It's been making noise for probably a good 1,500 miles, so I'm like, you know what? I'm going to stop now. We got the good numbers out of it. Now we get to take this back to the dyno sometime, see what it does with the all motor setup, make sure all the air fuel ratios and everything are great with Eric. Although the air fuel ratios looked pretty good, they were in the like 12.5 range. I think they could be a little leaner. I don't exactly know. I'll leave that up to Eric at AGN Tuning to decide. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. Definitely pulls harder than it did when I made 252 wheel horsepower. 252. That's what it made all motor last time, and we have done a ton of things to it since then, so it should yield slightly higher numbers. It'll all depend on how hot it is out whenever we dyno it, but I still think around 270, 275, since it is a J32A3. It's a great engine. I'm super happy with it, but now I have a huge mess I gotta clean up in here. That's where the power steering leaked out whenever I pulled the hose off, but yeah, I'm gonna start sourcing the parts for this, price everything out. I don't have much money to use right now because things are kind of tight, but now we know exactly what it looks like it needs. Those 2 needle bearings, I'll just replace this whole assembly here. I have seen these for sale, so I can do that, and then find out what bearings are up in the shaft here, replace those, and then either throw this back on the car, or we could put this on my J32 engine that I have on the engine stand and drop it in something. But of course, that'll take some more money and time to achieve. But either way, we're gonna do something with it. So definitely stay tuned for that. But that's basically it for this video. I have a mess to clean, so I'm going to get off here. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I know you're probably just as sad as me to see the supercharger off, but it's still great exactly how it is. So I hope to see you guys in some future videos, so definitely stay tuned. If you guys like the content, definitely share it around, hit that like button, and subscribe if you haven't. But I'm going to go ahead and get off here. I'll see you guys in the next video. And as I like to say, God bless, stay safe, stay awesome.